Item number 21A, Shri Ravneet Singh ji. Shri Ravneet Singh ji. Item number 21A.
सर ये बिल वापस लेना चाहिए। एंटी फार्मर बिल है ये, बिल्कुल ये।
Shri R.K. Singh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Electricity Act.
Shri N K Premachandran ji.
I rise to oppose the introduction of the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022. Any amendment to an Act of Parliament can't frustrate the object of the Parent Act, especially if it goes against the statements of objects and reasons and the scheme of the Parent Act itself. This bill seeks to amend the Constitution through a statute and therefore is beyond the legislative competence of this House, Mr. Chairperson, sir. Number two, Mr. Chairperson, sir, the object of the Electricity Act 2003 was to protect the interests of consumers and supply of electricity to all areas. Section 4, 5 and 6 of the Act create obligations on both the centre and the state for ensuring supply of electricity to rural areas and by extension to the poor. Mr. Chairperson, sir, this amendment bill substantially weakens the power of the states to achieve this objective by providing for multiple privately owned distribution companies in the same area to allow them to use the existing infrastructure. This, Mr. Chairperson, sir, I'm afraid will lead to privatization of profits and nationalization of losses. My penultimate objection to this bill, Mr. Chairperson, sir, is the bill usurps the rights of the states through amendment to Section 79J. The centre is empowered to issue licenses to a multi-state distribution company with no consultation with the states. The state commission's role is drastically reduced, even though the responsibility for operation and management stays with the states. And my final objection, Mr. Chairperson, sir, is the bill adds that if any state commission is unable to perform its functions on account of vacancies, the central government may, in consultation with the state governments concerned, entrust its functions to any other state commission. This is consultation but not consent of the states, Mr. Chairperson, sir. The other state commission may not be aware of the local dynamics of power distribution in the targeted state. This again usurps the powers of the state. In conclusion, Mr. Chairperson, sir, may I say that the tariff setting applied within a state has been put under the purview of the respective state commissions. But this amendment bill appears to give an overriding power to rules prescribed by the centre when it comes to state commissions' powers to fix the tariff for retail sale of electricity. The word prescribed by the central government occurs 8 times in the original act, whereby it occurs, Mr. Chairperson, sir, 9 times in the amending act. For these reasons, I would like to urge the government to withdraw this bill and have a detailed consultation.
Shri N K Premachandran ji.
Hey, please.
कोई आपत्ति है तो रख रहे हैं.
What is this?
जी, please.
Sir, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I rise to oppose this bill very vehemently. Under Rule 72(2) of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha on 3 constitutional grounds. Sir, number 1, many of the provisions in the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022 are against the federal structure of the Constitution. Sir, it is an accepted principle. Sir, it is an accepted constitutional position that the basic features or the fundamental characters of the Constitution shall not be amended or altered. But the federal fabric of the Constitution of the country, taking into confidence of the particular states of the Union of India, it is not being taken into consideration. So the provisions of the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022 is violating the provisions of the federal character of the Constitution. That is the first objection which I would like to raise. And the second objection is, sir, power or electricity is a subject which comes under the concurrent list in item number 38 of list number 3 under schedule 7 of the constitution. So since it is a subject which is coming within the purview of the concurrent list, definitely it is the bounden duty or the obligation, mandatory obligation on the part of the government to have an effective consultation with the states and stakeholders also. But unfortunately, no consultation has been done with the states before making or before proposing this legislation. Sir, in the year 2001, at the time of enacting the law, there was effective consultation was there. It was sent to the standing committee and effective consultation, deliberation, everything was done. But here in this case, unfortunately, no consultation was done with the states. So we urge upon the government before proposing the legislation, the states of the Union of India should be consulted. That is the second objection which I would like to make. And the third objection is, this is violation of Article 39B, the directive principles of state policy of the Constitution. Why? So the indiscriminate privatization of the distribution system in power sector by granting license to multiple agencies in the same area. In the same area, multiple private agencies will be allowed to do the service, then it will result in the tariff hike, and that will adversely affect the interest of the ordinary consumers as well as the farmers, because they are getting the subsidy of power subsidy is being getting. So the entire distribution network and the infrastructure it was built upon, thousands of crores of rupees have been spent from the public sector. This is our money. But the private companies are being allowed to mend money out of the infrastructure made from the public sector. It is against Article 39B of the Constitution. So on all these grounds, that is indiscriminate privatization, against the federal principles, and the power is a concurrent subject which is coming under the list 3. On all these grounds, I strongly oppose the introduction of the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022. Thank you very much.